beautiful. It's so clumsy looking on the sand, and then suddenly it's taken up by a wave, and you just see how beautifully it's designed for the water. Whoa. Oh, they're everywhere now. Oh.
And welcome. This week we're somewhere rather different. We're on location in Diani, Kenya, talking about sea turtles. This is how the East Africa Travel Podcast is different to many of the other travel podcasts that you will find. Everything is recorded by me on location. And all those lovely background noises you hear, whether the birds or the waves from the ocean, they all tell the story about me and my travels across East Africa. Thanks to everyone who's been listening to the last few episodes. Together we've explored Uganda and Tanzania, and now we're going to another country, Kenya. You're listening to the East Africa Travel Podcast, hosted by me, Charlotte Beauvoisin, author of Diary of a Mzungu. So here we are on one of the best beaches in Africa, or arguably the world. The coastline of Kenya extends from Tanzania in the south to Somalia in the north. Kenya, Tanzania and Somalia being just 3 of the 8 countries that make up East Africa. The Kenyan coastline is over 500 kilometres long and includes some famous beach destinations, Mombasa and Malindi, alongside the more intimate Watamu and Kilifi. But everyone is a tropical paradise offering snorkeling, diving, windsurfing, kite surfing, sunbathing of course, and an amazing variety of hotel, accommodation, nightlife, a very long list of activities. And then there's Diani, where we are today, famous for its white powder sand beaches, non-stop partying, and really cool conservation initiatives. The marine protected areas include coral reefs, sand dunes, mangrove forests and seagrass beds, all intoxicating attractions for someone like me who is so crazy about the natural world. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. I travelled to Diani for a sustainable tourism summit hosted by the amazing Judy Kefagona. I'm always on the lookout for stories for you, so I couldn't believe it when I found out there was a day dedicated to turtle conservation. Some of the cool people doing awesome stuff to protect our planet. Exactly the kind of people I love hosting on the podcast. And that chance meeting at the Sea Turtle Festival turns into an invitation to come down to the beach the next day and witness something absolutely. Turtle hatchlings leaving their nest under the sand to make their way into the ocean for the very first time. The tiny turtles' walk into the ocean is fraught with dangers, as you'll hear for yourself. But keep listening to the whole episode, because the next day I have another surprise. This is such a fun episode. I can't believe I got to do all of this, and for you to be there with me as well.
So we're here at Diani Turtle Watch on the Kenyan coast, and I'm with Halima. It's great to see so many young Kenyans getting into environmental issues and lots of career choices.
Yeah.
I'm very excited that today we're going to watch some turtles hatching.
So the species that will be hatching today is the green turtles. We have 3 types of turtles that nest within Diani beaches, and we get the green turtles on this south side, and on the north side we mainly get the olive ridleys and the hawksbill turtles, which are a much smaller species compared to the green turtle.
I understand that the turtles actually have a very low chance of survival.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Because 1 out of 1,000 hatchlings may survive to adulthood. For example, right now we have around 20 nests here, and each nest has an average of around 130 eggs. So combined, if they all hatch, possibly just 1 might survive to the point of trying to lay eggs as well.
Oh wow, that's so much work to protect one individual.
And this is why we try as much as possible to protect as many nests as we come across, in order to increase the chances of their survival.
So what are the challenges? Why can't we let the turtles dig the hole and put the eggs in the beach and just leave them?
Ideally, they would have survived, but because of the coastal developments happening along the beaches, plastic pollution, the change in tides, all those factors contribute to us having to move the nest. So we usually work with the community, and when a nesting mother comes out to nest, we get a call from them who go to assess the nest. The turtle tries to nest at the highest tide point as much as possible, but sometimes the tide goes beyond that point, so we have to move the nests.
What do people do with the eggs of a turtle?
We've had some eat them because of traditions.
Of course, they must be very nutritious.
I don't know about the eggs when they poach the turtle, especially the green turtle, because it has the green tinted fatty liquid in it. They usually remove it and they believe that it cures asthma, hangovers. They believe that it's an aphrodisiac. So there's a lot of beliefs behind turtle meat itself and the products of the turtle as well.
And when you say they, which community are you referring to?
Here in Diani, we mainly have the Digo community that works in the fishing industry within here, so they are most likely to come across turtles. We work with the fishermen. We also work with the people who operate on the beach, so we call them beach operators. We take tourists around. They have glass boats, and turtles are tied to tourism. So if we protect the turtles, then the tourism industry doesn't die. But specifically for the hawksbill turtle, this is a critically endangered species. They nest within Diani, but they are being hunted mainly for their shell. So if we kill off the hawksbill turtles, the sponges on the coral reefs overgrow, which then kills off the corals on the reef. And if the coral reef dies, then the fish supply goes down.
Ah, I see. So it's all connected.
So when you say this, someone feels like it's too far to affect them, but in reality, it's something that can happen within a few years.
So we're here at the Diani Turtle Watch Visitor Centre, and I really like your construction. It's very cool. It's all recycled materials from what I can see.
So the guys who are sponsoring our office, that is the Nomad Hotel, they are big on sustainability and conservation. So anything that is used within the hotel.
One of the reasons that I wanted to launch the podcast was to talk to people like you.
And we try our best because our generation, we didn't grow up with the mentality that we have to protect our environment. But currently, we are learning how important it is to protect our environment. We try as much as possible to give out that information to the younger ones so that as they grow up, they have this information. For example, you can't find people in our generation or the older generation, Kenyans, using the recycling bins. But I feel like the more we teach the younger generations about recycling, reducing and reusing, it's easier for them to use the recycling bins.
How many turtles are we expecting to see hatch today? 136.
So sometimes the nest doesn't hatch fully. Some of the hatchlings may remain behind, and we have to do an excavation so that we can see if some of the turtles survived and we can release them. Sometimes some of the eggs don't hatch completely, or they get destroyed or something of the sort. So we are hoping that it's a full nest hatch.
Shall we come with you? Yeah, we'll go now? Excellent.
So the rest of the team have seen a few nests, but I haven't.
Oh, okay. It's important that you experience, it's the heart of what you do, isn't it?
And it's such a beautiful experience every time you see them come out.
Oh, right. I'm very excited for you. We had a lot of heavy rain this week. Does that affect when they hatch?
We were expecting it to hatch earlier, but then it started raining, so they tend to go back to sleep. That's what we usually say. They don't come out as soon as we hope. And if the weather is extremely cold, then they take longer to hatch than if it's warmer. And this also affects the gender as well. So you'll find that if the sun temperatures are above 28 degrees Celsius, we'll get more females than males. And if the sun temperatures are below 28 degrees Celsius, then we get more males than females.
Hello. Before we start, it's only proper that we understand what is happening, and who we are. So we are Diani Turtle Watch. What we do is we protect sea turtles nesting within the Diani Marine Reserve. We set this area because we need to protect some of the nests from predators, from poaching, and also being washed away by high tide. So this nest has been incubating for a maximum of 2 months. And whenever we release them, we ensure that they make it down to the beach, and we'll have done our part, because now they are on their own to actually fend for themselves and protect themselves. So we have guidelines.
Yeah.
Guideline number 1 is only people who are legally allowed to handle turtles are supposed to be on the nest relocation site. Then number 2, as they're crawling out, kindly just be 3 meters away from the hatchling, just to give it room to fall down into the ocean, yeah? And then we do not touch them with bare hands, because you're touching cosmetics and 1,000 things. That's why you're handling them with the gloves, yeah? And then number 4, crabs, we might swoop in trying to predate upon them, so we have to shoo them away. And lastly, flash photography. No flash photography, particularly even after dark, because they are attracted by the reflection of the moon on the sea surface, knows us towards the sea. So any flash photography disorients them. Sawa sawa.
We are on the beach in Diani, waiting for the turtles to hatch. And there are about 30 of us, lots of holidaymakers, a few kids. Somebody's here with his bottle of beer, and all different nationalities. And the Diani Turtle Watch volunteers are looking very excited. They're all standing around with cameras, and they've opened a little pathway across the sand for the turtles. And either side of this little runway, they place big pieces of bamboo. So it means that the turtles will keep on track and they will be funneled towards the ocean. They need the turtles to get to the ocean straight away, because there's the danger of predators. They could be stepped on by one of us, or they could be picked off by a crab. We just walked along the beach for a few hundred meters, and Halima from Diani Turtle Watch told me, "Oh look, there's a crab." She said that's exactly the kind of predator that would like to pick off a baby turtle. So our job is to watch and enjoy, but also to protect the turtles as well. Make sure that they get all the way to the ocean, give them a bit of a head start. There's a real sense of anticipation here. Everyone's curiously looking at this hole in the sand. There are several nesting sites of turtles here, and a nest has a number. It has a date showing when the eggs were laid and how many eggs there are. And it will also say the species of turtle, and they all seem to say GT. Which type of turtle is green? Green. And they're all green turtles. Yes, okay. Apparently the way that you know the turtles are about to hatch is that the sand above their nest starts to collapse a bit. It means the eggs are hatching and there's a bit of movement in the nest. And typically the eggs take around 30 days before they hatch. The temperature of the sand will dictate the sex of the turtles. Apparently you can't actually tell the sex of a turtle for up to 30 years. That's when they become sexually mature. It's a very windy day here at the beach. It's sunny. There's quite a bit of cloud cover. Just had a Maasai man wave at me with a big smile. They're all selling lots of little bracelets and anklets here on the beach. But it's a very relaxed vibe. You can volunteer to work with Diani Turtle Watch for up to a month. You can also visit their visitor centre, which is full of great info and T-shirts and interesting bits and pieces. You can study turtles, you can learn about conservation, and it's a really great setup next to a fantastic restaurant called Nomad. It's also a good base for all kinds of sea activities like surfing and kite boarding. Oh, a lot more people have just turned up, another 10 or 15 people. Oh, is one coming through? You can see one. You know, the lady I was talking to from the office, she said it's the first time that she's seen some hatch this year, so she's just as excited as we are. It's quite sweet. Oh, we've got the first turtle coming down. Oh, there's a few now, and they're at the top of the beach in a little cordoned off area. Probably about 50 people here now. Word has spread. There he is. Or she is, I don't know. You now have two of them racing towards the edge. Yeah, one of them's now in the water. Small but perfectly formed. And they've got very big flippers. Working like crazy. They're kind of mostly black with white underneath. Haha. Everyone's moving up and down the beach now. We were all at the top of the beach to start with because we wanted to see them all come out of the sand. Everyone's walking towards the water now, celebrating the turtles making it to the water. Oh, now it's swimming. So we've just seen about 4 or 5 now. Oh yeah, you can see how they get trodden on. 2 of them have walked a few metres off at an angle.
Please don't walk around too much, just in case you don't see any.
Yeah, that's true.
Rather stay exactly where you are now and don't move at all.
Oh, amazing. One came right towards me and just gone past in front of me. But we have been told not to move around, and I understand why now, because while you're following one, chasing a photograph, you might tread on another one. Whoa, beautiful. It's so clumsy looking on the sand, and then suddenly it's taken up by a wave, and you just see how beautifully it's designed for the water. Whoa. Oh, they're everywhere now. Oh. This girl just looked up and a wave washed beneath her legs and it sucked up a turtle and took it out to sea. That was quite sweet watching that. Beautiful experience, Halima.
Every single time, it doesn't get old.
No, I can imagine. Wow. Wow, beautiful. Oh, I'm looking and I can see about a dozen of them. Some of them are just walking, some of them are being caught by the waves, and they're swimming and... Whoa! Be careful! And they're swept by a wave, and then they put their head above the water. Yeah, and if you look out, I can actually see a few 50 metres out. Well, I think I've got about 100 turtle photos now. They are walking in front of me and behind me. They're about the same size. They must be 6 centimetres or more. And they are dark greyish colour, white underneath, and covered in sand, of course, now, so easily camouflaged. I wonder what the first thing is that they will eat. Oh, it's just such a lovely experience. Oh, we just watched one turtle get washed back onto the beach, upside down. Very disorientating. I'm sure it's flipped its way back up instantly. It's amazing how nature knows instinctively what to do.
Yes. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
So you have enjoyed the nest?
Yeah, beautiful. You're happy with the way it went? Suddenly there were lots of people here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always very nice.
How was it?
You're happy.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Just seeing them everywhere you look.
Lots of photos.
When they put their head up and you can see them swimming, and it's like beautiful. I've got friends at Watami Marine Association, so I'm a regular visitor to the coast. But I don't know much about turtles. I have seen a hatching once before, but this is great. So pleased to be here. And
My name is Dempsey. I'm the project manager, Diani Turtle Watch.
yeah,
And this is something that we try to create awareness, both with the tourist community and the local community. Because decades back, turtles were seen as food, and maybe their products sold as black market products.
Yeah.
But right now, Central Diani, they are so into conservation of sea turtles. Right now, even the community embracing it, and it's even making our work easier. It's that harmonious coexistence. I imagine a moment in time where now we have so many turtles and the community are protecting them. It's like it's their resource.
great that people are communicating and investing in natural heritage.
Earlier on, the community was a problem in terms of, trying to embrace it. So for us, we had to just bite the bullet and just approach them and just tell them, okay, turtles are very valuable alive than dead. Basically, they earn revenue because so many of our tourists come to Diani to actually go diving and see them in the ocean. Turtles support our whole tourism industry. Because I've had hotels contacting me and just asking me, hey, when are turtles hatching? Because we have guests that would like
Yeah.
to actually come and witness them.
Yes, I was at Baobab the other day and I told the manager I was coming down here and it's like, yeah, get the information. We send our guests down. I see you have your beach cleanups and stuff.
Actually, we have beach cleanups like more often than not, particularly on the weekends.
Uh-huh.
Because we have a group of the Diani youth program. They do beach cleanup from time to time.
Yeah.
And then we have like beach cleanup organized by some of the hotels, Nomad being one of them. Even the tourists, when they come in, they're like, hey, can you get involved in something? Instead of just coming and relaxing and enjoying the environment, can we also get involved?
I think people would want to have a connection with the environment and with local people as well, and it does both of those things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I would have done the beach cleanup. Do you have a good recycling program here, or?
Interestingly, yes. Particularly waste from the hotel. All the organic waste is actually composted and taken to the hotel farm on the other side of the road. It's used to actually grow vegetables to be used in the hotel.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Nice system.
And then there's also the same sustainability department also deals with plastic waste. They try to mold them into coasters, key rings. And what we do is we protect sea turtles nesting within the Diani Marine Reserve. So it's usually an area that is around 30 kilometers approximately. That's from Congo River all the way to Charlie Island and further down to Funzi Island.
Okay, so that's a whole big section of beautiful beach.
Yes, it's not uniformly suitable for sea turtle nesting because we have places where we have cliffs, rocky beaches, but yeah, there's a proper chunk of suitable section of sea turtle nesting. Unfortunately, it's around 10% only.
But then the turtles know where to go. So we're here today at Diani Turtle Watch and we have just watched. How many turtles do you think hatched today and swam out into the Indian Ocean?
So the nest that we actually witnessed had 137 eggs. And interestingly, there are quite a number of them that hatched. I'm hoping it's more than 80% because right now we haven't sort of like taken date of it, but 3 days later we'll come down, dig up the nest and do an excavation, and that's when we'll get the success rate of that nest. And it's like a routine for every nest that hatches. We give it 3 days just to allow even the ones that are still buried in to actually try to make it out of the nest and down into the beach.
So there might be one or two that are hatching even though most of them are gone, but there's a couple of stragglers.
Possibly, yes.
Yes,
Possibly,
yes.
yes.
I was just talking to you and a big baboon walked past. It was a very lovely experience, but I know tourists who are lucky enough to be here right now. Suddenly there were about 50 people, weren't there, watching?
Yes.
But if you wanted to come and watch it, how can you advise people? Because you can't predict, can you, when they're going to hatch?
All the nests that we have relocated, because some of the nests are usually laid at vulnerable areas, possibly maybe because of predation or poaching. So we usually track the time, the incubation period. In particular, the green sea turtles, they take 60 days of incubation period. So around the time when it's between the 45th to the 60th day, the nest will start dipping to show signs of movement below the nest. And that's when we'll constantly track and just keep an eye on it. Because this one that hatched actually showed signs of young turtle hatchlings this morning that were about to hatch. It was around 10 a.m. The sun was up in the sky and it was not conducive to release them. That's why we waited until the evening.
So what would happen if you had let them hatch at midday?
The problem with that is some of them get like heat stroke and they'll die on the beach and not make it into the ocean. So you have to ensure that temperatures are actually conducive for them to hatch. And that's why more often than not you might find hatching taking place after dark, from late in the evening all the way to after dark.
And I think you also waited until it was high tide.
Yes.
And that's so they don't have to walk very far, or?
So coincidentally, that nest hatched during high tide.
But if I was to choose a time when the tides are low, because then they get enough exercise to flex their lungs as they make their way across the beach and into the sea, because from the time they'll hit the ocean, they'll be swimming for the rest of their lives. So it's only proper that they have enough exercise for that journey out at sea.
And I saw them swimming and they were very focused, and it was very cute to see the little head come up above the water. So where are they going? Are they going somewhere in particular, or they're just going to settle in the area and feed?
Scientifically speaking, we really don't know where the hatchlings end up, because science actually gives it a word, 20 lost years. So these turtles will swim all the way past the reef and end up so many miles away. It's really hard to even put tags on them though, because they're quite small and some of the tags might be heavy for them. So nobody really knows. But usually they'll return 20, 30 years down the line. That's around the time when they actually achieve maturity, and they'll begin breeding just around where they were born and then come and start nesting. Yes.
Amazing. So much opportunity for us to learn more about them, which I think is quite exciting as well.
Yes, thank you so much.
Really enjoyed being here. So we're at Diani Turtle Watch, and you have this visitor centre that's got some really cool information. I love the graphics. I love how the messages are like clear and beautifully presented. So you're doing conservation, but not just of turtles, because there's so many messages here, aren't there, about plastic recycling and pollution and nets. We were talking just now, so we just picked up some ropes. I guess these would have been part of fishing nets, wouldn't they, on the beach?
Our focus on the environment is usually because, you can never say you're protecting an endangered species and neglect its habitat. So unfortunately also we have elements within the marine world that are actually posing a threat. Number one being marine debris or marine litter, and to be precise, plastic pollution. Because some of the materials we use on a daily basis are made out of plastic material, including the nets that will take forever to break down because plastic does not decompose. And if a turtle is caught in a fishing net and we don't respond in time to save it, that turtle might die of suffocation below the sea. So ghost nets are a problem. Some of the plastic materials that can be like plastic wrappers that mimic food that turtles feed on, like jellyfish.
So like a carrier bag or cavera, when it's floating in the water, yes, it looks like a jellyfish. One of the photos was showing that turtle might try and eat it, thinking it's a jellyfish.
Exactly.
And then it will ingest it and it will... So there are multiple threats. And then, of course, we've got coastal erosion as well, haven't we? I've just been in Mombasa, where one of the hotels has lost, I think, 10 metres of seafront.
Yes.
But, of course, that's also a nesting site, isn't it?
Yes, that is very true. Coastal erosion is seasonal, but then again, there's also projects that are running, like sand harvesting, which is also now posing a threat to some of our nesting beaches. And I always try to get involved, particularly attending some of the meetings with the community and some other stakeholders to create awareness of the value of our coastline, particularly our beach, as nesting ground for sea turtles. And the more we overlook that value, the chances of us not having sea turtles in the near future are very possible. So we have to also take a front seat in that round table and just fight for these endangered species that for the longest time have existed, but now we are threatening their survival.
It's good to see that humans are reacting and trying to come up with solutions, and it's really brilliant to see and meet passionate Kenyans who are volunteering their time and doing some great work. What about tourists though? How can tourists be part of the equation and help you do your job?
So usually we have a few programs that tourists can actually get involved in it. Number one is sea turtle nest adoptions, where now tourists can actually adopt a nest for as low as 3,500 shillings a nest, and you get a nest adoption certificate and updates of that nest that you adopted.
So visitors to Diani can also take place in the beach cleanups. We want to really get active and contribute physically.
Yes.
Contribute your time.
Yes, that is one of the main things that we're actually pushing for, beach cleanup, and it's now very popular within Diani Beach.
Yeah.
And we always welcome also tourists, the tourist community, to get involved. And we also now are pushing also for the restoration of the mangrove vegetation, because they're also key in protecting of the marine world. So both beach cleanup and mangrove restoration are key in some of the things we try to push for, and usually we involve the community. Yeah.
I met Sudi for the first time at the Sea Turtle Festival, and I saw Kenya Wildlife Service there, and Shimoni Trust, and hundreds of kids. All different groups of people were there and active and coming together, and there was a really nice vibe.
Yes. The Sea Turtle Festival is actually a platform where we create awareness, particularly with the younger generation and also the older generation. So with the kids, we try to create or get involved in activities that actually shed light on the life of a sea turtle, the threats the sea turtle face, like plastic pollution and also marine litter in general, and also the presence of ghost nets, because that is a common thing we try to also push across.
You mentioned ghost nets before, so these are nests that have come loose from a, I don't know, fishing vessel or something?
Ghost nets are actually impacts of commercial fishing out at sea, but unfortunately a few vessels will just leave some of the nets to drift freely, and marine life, sea turtles included, get entangled in them, and that usually poses a threat to their survival. Because from time to time turtles have to resurface, breathe in and go down, but if they are caught in nets and immobilized below the sea, they'll die of suffocation.
Oh, Gus gave me a horrible image of a turtle getting stuck. Is there anything else we can mention from a tourism point of view?
I'm keen on trying to put across is may for the tourist community, thank you very much, because we've had quite a number of tourists that have supported us and even supported other community initiatives that are focused on sea turtles. Because for the longest time, the focus was in the terrestrial environment. But right now, we're trying to shift the tide to the marine world. So I would only encourage that from time to time, when you're visiting locations, get involved, support the community, support initiatives, and in essence, we'll actually build the bigger picture of supporting conservation work along areas that we visit.
Oh, fantastic. Well, great initiative and really wonderful to meet you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay, we're going to look at the tracks. So what we're going to do is we're going to retrace the steps of the female turtle. Mustafa, what time do you think the turtle came up the beach?
We have an app which shows us the tide.
Last night was full moon.
Yes.
Do you think that was connected?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally like the moon. They might come in the time of tides when they super high. So it was at 4 a.m.
4 a.m. Okay, that was the high tide last night.
Yeah.
We're here at Diamond's Leisure in Diani, and you can see where some of the staff have cleared the beach. So they've removed some of the seaweed that got washed up on the last high tide. That you can see the tracks of the turtle very clearly.
We have to measure the width of the track so that we can get the different shades when the other turtle comes, or it's the same one.
So in 2 weeks' time, the same turtle is very likely to come back and lay some more eggs.
Yeah.
How many times will she come back?
She always come back at maybe 5 times or 4 times.
In a few weeks period. And then how long until she lays more eggs?
She normally takes 4 to 5 hours before the high tides ends or the low tides goes.
Oh, she's up here all that time?
Yeah.
Why do you like turtles?
Yeah, because it's nature and they are lovely animals.
And what if somebody comes here to visit? How can they see an adult turtle?
So we normally prefer them to go in a diving school so that they can do diving and see a lot of species in the water.
If I say to you, I want to go diving and see turtles, there are a number of places that you could recommend.
Yeah, every day.
Okay, we'll have to do that one day.
So this is the first track.
So here we're looking at where the turtle has heaved itself up the beach, and it's quite steep, isn't it? It's quite a big hill coming up out of the water here, and you can clearly see the mark of the shell and the mark of the, do we call them flippers?
Yeah, they are flippers.
Yes. How long do you think it took the turtle to cover that bit of sand?
From laying the eggs and coming back, they only take 4 to 5 hours. Maybe she came here at 4. So she went there. Maybe at 5 she started digging. At 6 she started laying the eggs, and at 7 she started going back.
She must be exhausted.
Yeah, they are normally like that. We take it as a nature, so we can't help her.
But she's very vulnerable when she's here because she moves very slowly on the ground.
Yeah.
and she's at night. Is there a worry that poachers could find her?
There is a time which we found one, it was poached, yeah, along the Diani Beach. Yeah, it was a very sad story because we found a lot of small eggs from the intestines,
Yes.
and they took all the meat and left.
That is sad, but I know you have an amazing network of people in the community who are telling you when they see the turtles and when they find the tracks.
Yeah, we have to work with the community so that our work can get a little easier.
Well, wasn't that exciting, being down on the beach? Everyone was so curious about what was going on, and it was such a treat to interact with these young conservationists who are so passionate about protecting turtles, but the whole coastline. If you enjoyed hearing about tourism and conservation in Diani, make sure you listen to episode 20, in which I talked to Dr. Pam Coneyworth. She worked at Colobus Conservation in Diani for over 20 years. She's got lots of tips about tourism and things to do in Diani. If you're a holiday maker, are you planning a trip to East Africa? If you are, get in touch. How can I help you plan a trip? I write for guidebooks and I train tourism businesses. I know that I can help you plan the trip of a lifetime. And just a little reminder before we go, I'd love a review. Apple, Spotify, or even on my blog, Diary of a Mzungu. A couple of words from you would really help me plan future content and inspire us to do better, travel more, and record some amazing stories for you. It helps more people find the content that I've been creating for many years now, but this is a new platform, so any help in giving us a little bit more visibility, or should I say audibility, all helps. Thanks! If you like reading, by the way, the full transcripts of all the episodes are on Diary of a Mzungu, or if you're not sure how to spell that, simply type in eastafricatravelpodcast.com. Thanks for listening and see you next time. Join me next week as we hang out with more cool people doing awesome stuff to protect our planet.
Ah,